Guys, what's good? It's your boy Phil. I actually just had a stream on Twitch. You can find the link down below if you're interested in solo leveling. That's what the stream was all about. That's where all the solo leveling stuff is going to be. It's going to be on Twitch from now. So go ahead, go to Twitch right now, watch the VOD, have a good time. Interesting chapter. I talk about all that over here. Today, I need to talk about what happened yesterday. I need to talk about yesterday. One Punch Man, the latest chapter, 138. I need to talk about it because it's been itching my brain for the past 24 hours. I can't stop thinking about this chapter, what it means, what is going on, because it was such a controversial chapter, such a series-changing chapter, such a huge chapter in so many different ways because there's so many things going on. I've read a lot of your guys' comments on the last video. I read a lot of them, and a lot of them make sense. Now, this chapter, according to a lot of you, this chapter diverges. This chapter diverges from the webcomic material. And whenever this happens in the series, it's huge. It's huge because webcomic readers don't know what's going on. Manga readers don't know what's going on. Anime-onlys don't know at all what's going on. So, it's so great. I think it's amazing. A lot of people might disagree with me, but I think it's amazing when the series diverges from the webcomic material, especially from last chapter. Huge divergence, man. Huge divergence. Now, I'm not a webcomic reader. I don't know what the divergence was. Nevertheless, though, I was very happy with last chapter. I think this is, the whole Monster Association arc has been the biggest thing in One Punch Man thus far. But I think, especially after last chapter, that we're in the biggest, most important part of the entire series of One Punch Man. I think that's pretty safe to say. I think we're definitely dealing with threat level God here, for sure. Definitely. And there's still a lot of questions I have in last chapter. So I'm just going to be going over last chapter, everything that happened. Probably in chronological order. Look, the first half of the chapter was amazing. The first, 3/4 of the chapter were amazing. And then, obviously, you got Tatsumaki with her giant-ass light spear that she just threw at the ground. That was amazing. That was great stuff. Love to see it. And then, obviously, the boys that were underground in Monaco, and they see that shit. Whatever that is. So, without further ado, let's do this shit. Now, the first thing that has been brought to my attention is that Drive Knight actually got the Orochi sample. He did it while he was fused with Genos. You see his little arm go out, grab the Orochi sample. He got it. He got the Orochi sample. You guys know me. I think my boy is innocent, but it is clear that he is up to something with the Orochi sample, with a lot of other shit. He's been stealing samples left and right, so he's got something up his sleeve for sure. So he did get the Orochi sample. Not quite sure what that means yet, but that's one of the main things that I wanted to talk about. And also, the fucking Genos Drive Knight fusion. Mwah. Loved it. And before I do talk about the last panel, I do want to talk about Tatsumaki, because Tatsumaki has really stolen the whole Monster Association arc show. From back in the day when she was terraforming the whole city, she was levitating giant boulders, she was throwing shit at Psychos and Orochi. Tatsumaki has stolen the show. She has really become a unit. She definitely deserves that number 2 spot. If Blast wasn't around, she would have that number 1 spot. Tatsumaki's a unit. She is a fucking unit. I have no doubt in my mind that she is too strong. Too strong. Whatsoever, man. Now with this giant spear that she ripped out of the ground, turned that shit around, threw it back at the ground. I don't know what the repercussions of this spear is gonna be. I'm assuming she's throwing it at Psychos and Orochi, or maybe just Psychos, I don't know. Yeah. It's very powerful. It definitely looks very powerful. So I think Psychos is done. I think Orochi is done. I don't know. Is that too soon for me to tell, man? Is that too soon for me to say? Because I really do think they're done. I think I think they're done, man. I think they're done. How could they possibly come back from this wreckage that they just got served in this chapter? All of the S ranks were handing L's out to Orochi and Psychos. How are they not done? They're done, man. I think that part of the arc is done, and I think the main focus is either going to be on A, Garo, or B, this being that we saw in the last chapter. Now, that's even cooler, more cool, if the being is Garo. Who's to say it isn't? So with that, let's segue to the main thing, the biggest thing that everybody has on their mind, that everybody is confused about. The last panel of this chapter, the being that we saw our boys and Monaco look out of this hole into, and how they even got to see such a thing. So this was also brought to my attention. I did not have the perception, the awareness to realize how these guys even got to see this being. Everybody touched that cube. You remember that cube, that heavy cube that my boy Saitama just threw away? Remember that shit? The same cube that we saw Blast holding in that one panel? That is big. That is huge. That is so important to all of this. All of them had contact with the cube in some way, and they were all able to see this being, or get teleported to see this being, whichever the two it is. They had contact with this being. I don't know if it's in way underground in the core of the Earth. I don't know if it's just some weird telepathic perception that they're having, some hallucination type shit. I don't know if they got actually teleported to wherever this being is. It could be either of those. But one thing's for sure is they all visually saw this being, and they all had contact with the cube. So that's very important. Second thing we can see from this, or infer from this, we can infer that Blast has also seen this being, because he had contact with the cube. He was searching for that cube, remember? So we can infer that he also had contact with this being. Now, those are things that we're pretty sure about, that we're more than like 90% sure about, that everybody touched the cube, Blast touched the cube, they all saw this being. Now come the theories. Now come the ideas about what's going on here. So, right off the bat, there are 3 suspects as to what this thing is. Number 1, majority, probably 95% of people think this is God. And that's a fair assumption. It's a giant being. It looks like the thing we saw in Homeless Emperor's vision. It looks kind of like the thing we saw in Psychos' vision, if you really think about it. God. The God of this universe. That's a fair assumption. That's probably, at the end of the day, what it's going to be. If I'm being real with you, that's probably what it is. So we'll see what that's all about when we get there. Second idea. There's 2, all right? There's 2 suspects as to who it is. This is an idea that I like a lot. I like this idea a lot. I think it's a really cool idea. Oh, someone commented this. I gotta credit whoever commented this. Hold on. Oh, it was my boy David. I know this dude. If Blast is the being that's in the last page of the last chapter, I think that's really cool. I think this theory is fire. I think it's awesome. I doubt it's true, but a man can dream. Dude, that'd change everything. That would change everything if Blast was the being we just saw. I mean, the cube is there. We saw him with the cube. If you put 2 and 2 together, why can't this be Blast? Why can't this be Blast? And Blast says, hey, I'm going to show up when we have a threat level God. What if he is the threat level God? That's a cool theory. I like that theory a lot. I don't know if it's true at all, but nevertheless, it's a cool theory. And lastly, we have Garo. And I don't know why nobody else is theorizing this. I don't know why no one else is thinking that this could possibly be Garo. Last time we saw Garo was underground, and this dude was getting piles of rubble on him. Rubble after rubble getting crushed. Dude has broken bones, everything. And we know he's going to evolve. We know Garo is going to go to the next level. who's to say that Garo hasn't just fucking become threat level God? Now, this is the worst theory out of all of them. This is the theory that is the least likely. Nevertheless, though, a man can dream. A man can dream that this is possibly Garo. Now, I don't know if getting crushed by tons of rubble is enough to ascend him to threat level God, to become this other earthly being that we saw. Nevertheless, though, I think it's worth considering that this might be Garo. Now, me personally, I'm the one who threw it out that it might be Garo. I don't think it's Garo. At the end of the day, I think this is the god of One Punch Man, that universe. I think that's what it is. Nevertheless, though, it could be Blast. It could be Garo. Those, I think, are the main three contenders as to what this is. Like I said before, it's probably the god. It's probably whatever Blast was looking for when he was looking for that cube. Whatever it is, that's what it is. And dude, it's so insane to think that Blast saw this being. Maybe this is the reason why he retired. Maybe this is the reason why nobody knows where he is. That's what really gives the Blast theory a lot of oomph. It gives him a lot of credit right there. That's what makes it very believable that this being might be Blast. Dude, what if we see Blast next chapter? What if we see Blast in real time in this dimension that Saitama, Flashy Flash, and Monaco are at? What if we see that? That is so possible right now. Literally, dude, this one panel, this one reveal changes the whole game. I could not be more excited for what's to come in One Punch Man. It is going to be great. I cannot wait. I don't even care about the power scaling. I don't care about the feats. I don't care about any of that shit. I don't know if my boy Saitama even has a chance against this being. I don't care. I am so excited to see what happens next. This is the most interested I've been in One Punch Man in a while. And I've been saying that a lot recently, but this one takes the cake. I don't know what's going to happen. Guys, that's my rant. That's my video on what the hell's going on in One Punch Man. Let me know down below, what do you think is happening in One Punch Man? What are your theories? What are your ideas? What is going on after this last chapter? Please let me know. Guys, the One Punch Man community has always been very kind to me. It is one of the first series that I ever started on YouTube, that I ever started covering. I'm very happy that you guys are here watching this video and that you've subbed to my channel. I'm very thankful for that. But guys, that's going to be the end of the video. One Punch Man has never been greater than it is right now, and that's a fact. I cannot wait to see what happens next. Hopefully we don't have too many redraws to get to. I think we have a few because I think the latest volume either dropped or it's about to drop. So I think we're gonna see some redraws pretty soon. But when those redraws happen, hopefully they have some good stuff. Who knows? Maybe we'll see more Blast. Maybe we'll see more God. Who knows? Guys, until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.